6.
Right now at 5, the city of Miami, Oklahoma hosts a special meeting to discuss a lease agreement for a new Boys and Girls Club facility.
And we've got those gusty winds out there. We've got a mostly cloudy day for us, warmer and storm chances later. We'll take a look at that forecast, get you out the door coming up.
Plus, we'll hear from the Joplin Humane Society about the benefits of fostering shelter dogs.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Good morning, 4 states, and welcome to the KOAM Morning News. It's 5 a.m. I'm Elise Noe.
I'm Chris Warner. So it got windy yesterday.
Just a bit.
Yeah, but it was still sunny. It was warm. It was nice
beautiful
out there. It was perfect.
Gorgeous.
And today really isn't going to be that bad in terms of temperatures.
Okay.
It's going to be a little warmer. Partly, mostly cloudy. It's going to be a lot windier, though. So, again, for me, that's not a problem. But for most people...
Yeah, I kind of like the wind. I don't mind it.
It's not bad.
In different ways and
oh, absolutely.
Stuff, you know.
The only big issue that the wind causes is the fire danger concern.
Yes,
so of course, definitely no outdoor burning out there, please, and do not discard your cigarettes either.
No.
Because you don't realize it doesn't take much to spark a very large fire.
Not at all.
Especially with the winds like we're going to see. And let's talk about that forecast to get you out the door this morning. Quick look outside. This is our camera. It is situated on top of the Cornell Complex in downtown Joplin. You can see the flags on City Hall blowing around in that southerly wind, and it is going to get even gustier as we head through today. MoDOT camera 20th and range line looking pretty good so far. If you look close enough, you can kind of see it bobbing back and forth a little in that wind this morning. Quick look outside. We are sitting at 54 in Joplin, 51 in Pittsburgh, looking great in both locations. And as we get the day underway, temperatures around the region, we are much warmer than where we were yesterday. Yesterday, upper 30s, low 40s. Everybody, for the most part, into the low 50s, though we do have a couple of upper 40s out there. So, again, not a bad start to the day whatsoever. We are on track for an even warmer day today than what we saw yesterday. Kids getting on the bus, about 48, partly cloudy, south breeze around 10 to 15. We'll see those gusts upwards of 25. And then the winds are really going to pick up later today. We're going to see those gusts 40 miles an hour. Some of you could see gusts a little higher. We'll be mostly cloudy and 73 when the kids get home, and we get sustained winds of 15 to 25 out of the south, so be aware of that, especially if you're on any east-west highways. We will go between partly to mostly cloudy skies as we head through the day. We're going to go low to mid-70s for our highs, maybe even a couple of upper 70s here and there. Then we've got our thunderstorm chances that begin tonight. Now, tonight looks to be a relatively isolated to widely scattered event, but we do have more storm chances over the next few days. We'll talk about all that in detail in the full forecast here in just a few more minutes. Elise?
Thanks, Chris. A Southeast Kansas man faces a number of charges after a standoff last week in a home officials say he was trying to rob. The hour-long standoff happened in the middle of the day last Thursday when a resident northeast of Caney, Kansas called 911. The caller reported a suspected burglary after discovering his door was forcibly opened. Deputies used what they referred to as less than lethal methods to remove the suspect burglar from the home. Andrew Cook from Coffeyville is now charged with aggravated burglary, criminal damage to property, interference with a law enforcement officer, and attempted theft by threat. His first court appearance is set for Thursday. A Kansas court decides with the state attorney general on the sex listed of a person's driver's license. The District Court of Shawnee County yesterday issued a temporary injunction and memorandum decision in the case. Attorney General Chris Kobach last year sued Governor Laura Kelly after she announced she would not enforce a rule requiring driver's license to list sex at birth and only sex at birth. The court agreed with Kobach, saying the rule must be enforced. The city of Carl Junction says its storm sirens have been fixed. The police department announced the sirens were down last Thursday ahead of a storm system moving in. The cause was a faulty electrical outlet that supplies the power to the receiver when sirens are activated. They had a technician come in to fix them, so they are ready for the next system. The city of Miami, Oklahoma yesterday held a special meeting to discuss some ongoing issues, including a release agreement for a new Boys and Girls Club facility. The plan is for the new facility to be located downtown by the Coleman Theater. Multiple residents spoke during the meeting expressing concern the plan would take away much needed parking space at the theater. No action was taken at yesterday's meeting. It will be readdressed at a meeting on Thursday. Well, as one local animal shelter deals with a parvo outbreak, another is in urgent need of foster parents for pups. The SEK Humane Society remains closed due to parvo. However, the Joplin Humane Society is short on foster homes, which can help keep its animals safe. KOAM Samantha Walker has more.
Puppies stay here. It's not if they're going to get sick, it's when and how sick are they going to get.
The Joplin Humane Society always has animals in need. With so many in their care, there are fears surrounding the spread of viruses, especially in young puppies.
Enough stool, just a tiny amount that'd cover your pinky, your fingernail and your pinky, is enough to contaminate over 100 dogs. So a little bit goes a long ways, unfortunately, which is why in a shelter situation, it doesn't take but one dog to get hundreds of dogs sick.
Shelter workers say one of the best things you can do for these young animals is to keep them out of the shelter.
Parvo is very deadly for puppies. So getting puppies out sooner than later is great for not exposing them to viral issues like parvo, but also for their mental health as well.
The Humane Society frequently uses foster home placements for its animals, including puppies, in hopes of keeping them safer.
It keeps them happy and healthy and in a safe environment till they've had their 2 vaccines, have been spayed and neutered in a post-op time. It just keeps them healthier than sitting here in a shelter, and they're not as stressed.
The Humane Society recommends anyone interested in fostering an animal come in and fill out an application. The shelter provides everything needed for the pet, including food, dishes, and any medications.
It's just a win-win. It keeps the puppies happy and healthy. It's fun for the fosters.
In Joplin, Samantha Walker, KOAM News.
The Joplin Humane Society will be hosting its spring vaccine clinic April 5th. No appointment is necessary. And that's a look at this morning's top stories and weather in our first 7 minutes coming up on the KOAM Morning News. Both Pittsburgh State basketball teams are headed to the NCAA tournament. We'll have the details. Plus, an American man has been sentenced to life in prison in Germany for his attacks on 2 U.S. women at a German castle. And thunderstorm chances return for tonight. We'll have what to expect with Chris Warner in the Skywatch Weather Center. You're watching the KOAM Morning News. We'll be right back.
When I noticed my heat stopped working, I decided to call the pros at $10 off a professionally installed and supplied water heater. Schedule now at gopascal.com.
Well, March Madness is officially here, at least at the Division II level. Late Sunday night, the D2 selection show reveals that both Pittsburgh State basketball teams are headed to the NCAA tournament. Starting on the women's side, the Gorillas receive an automatic bid to the NCAA tournament after winning the MIAA tournament on Sunday. Pitt State is the 4 seed in the Central Region. Their opening round is on Friday night against 5 seed Harding. That game will be played at Southern Nazarene University. Here's a look at the Central Region women's bracket. 4 MIAA teams, including the Gorillas, are in the region. All 4 of the first round games are scheduled for Friday. If they win that first game, they play again the next day. Then the regional championship, the Sweet 16 game, would be a week from yesterday. Pitt State men's basketball also gets selected to participate in the NCAA tournament. The Gorillas receive an at-large bid after losing in the MIAA tournament championship game on Sunday. Jeff Boshy's group isn't in action until Saturday night. They're the 5 seed in the Central Region and will face 4-seeded Minnesota State Moorhead. Here's a look at the men's Central Region bracket. Minnesota State is the top seed and the host for the opening 3 rounds. The round of 32 takes place the following day. That's Sunday. Then the Sweet 16 will be on the 19th, next Tuesday. Gorillas join Northwest Missouri and Fort Hays State as other MIAA qualifiers. One of the biggest stories from Selection Sunday is Missouri Southern women's basketball getting left out of the NCAA tournament. Lions were considered by many to be on the bubble of an at-large bid, but after losing 3 of their final 4 games to end the season, including an opening round loss to Pitt State in the MIAA tournament, the Lions don't receive an invitation to compete in the tournament this year. We have put a bow on the high school basketball season in the 4 states. Yesterday, CNC releases its all-conference awards and selections. Colgan girls basketball head coach Abby Farabi is named the 23-24 CNC Coach of the Year. This comes after she helped lead the Panthers to a perfect 12-0 record in conference play. Colgan also brings home a third-place trophy from the Class 2A state tournament in Dodge City. Here are the girls' first and second team All-CNC honorees. Colgan has 4 players selected to the first 2 teams, led by unanimous first-team players Lily Brown and Jacayla Davis. Riverton's Chloe Parker and E.J. Wells are also on the first team. We've got the full list as well as the honorable mentions on our website. Meanwhile, Colgan head coach Clint Heffern is named the CNC Coach of the Year for boys basketball. Panthers tied Girard for the regular season championship with a 10-2 record in conference play. Colgan finished the year with a 19-4 record and was ranked 3rd in the final coaches poll of the season. And here are the first and second team boys All-CNC honorees. We have 4 unanimous selections to the first team: Girard's Aiden Troike, Frontenac senior Trey Kramer, Colgan senior Jack Schrimmer, and Galena junior Jack Perry. You can find this full list, including those honorable mentions, again at KOAMnewsnow.com/sports. Still to come, a promising new technology that researchers are testing may be able to create a child from same-sex couples. Plus, we'll have another look at your forecast, including those incoming thunderstorm chances when the KOAM Morning News returns.
Big Iron's Barbecue. All new happy hour. Enjoy 50% off all draft beer along with other drink specials Thursday in Joplin.
Kramer's Meats in Joplin, serving great meals to the 4 states since 1955.
Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News. 5:16 coming up on 5:17 on this Tuesday morning here in the 4 states. We're starting with a live look from our camera downtown Joplin. It is windy out there, and we've got cloudy skies here and there, and that's going to be the case for us throughout the day, the wind and the clouds, and much warmer weather as well. MoDOT camera, 20th and Range Line, looking pretty good as well. Same from the KDOT camera on 69 and East 528th Avenue, of course, just south of Pittsburgh. Right now, number one concern through the first part of our day here is going to be the winds. We're going to see those gusts up to 40 miles an hour, and in some cases potentially a little higher, and that's leading to an elevated fire risk, especially for our western counties out there. But in all honesty, do not recommend outdoor burning of any kind across the area over the next few days, because as you see, these winds aren't really going to let up. Now, we'll see a pause for some of us by tomorrow morning, but it doesn't last long. Those south winds pick right back up again as we head later into our Wednesday, and they will continue to be gusty even as we head into our Thursday across the area. Here we are Thursday morning, those gusts once again getting close to about 40 miles an hour out there. We do have that risk for some strong to severe thunderstorms as we head into tonight. The tornado risk at this point is very low. It is not showing up on the map. We do have that low-end hail risk and a low-end wind risk. So large hail, damaging winds, the primary concern with the storms tonight. Now, the other half of this, though, is the storms tonight expected to be, at this point, relatively isolated to widely scattered. So we'll go partly to mostly cloudy throughout the day, a few showers later this evening, and then late evening and overnight is going to be our best window for any isolated to widely scattered showers and storms. But as you saw in the future track, it's not really picking up on a lot at this point. But some new data is starting to suggest around, say, 10 o'clock or so tonight, we're going to see some thunderstorms right along the I-44 corridor from parts of Kansas into Missouri. And it's going to be really confined to a zone right through here, right where those highlights were. So outside of that, probably won't see much of anything. And we'll go into our Wednesday. We'll be mostly cloudy again, warmer, still windy. And then by the evening hours Wednesday, here comes another round of showers and storms. There's going to be a few more of these as we go through our Wednesday and into early Thursday morning. And that's going to bring us another chance of strong to low-grade severe thunderstorms out there. 54 in Joplin right now, south breeze at 18, gusting to 26 out there. Again, temperatures around the region, not bad. We've got about 3 upper 40s out there. Everyone else into the low to mid 50s as we get our day started. And we'll be warmer yet today. We're going to go about 61 by 11. Yesterday we were heading for about 54, 52. We'll have those, again, partly to mostly cloudy skies, and it's going to be breezy. So during the daytime, aside from the wind, not bad. Highs right around the mid 70s out there. So a pretty decent day, again, aside from the wind. For some of us, by about 10 o'clock or so is when we'll see that chance for some showers and thunderstorms, at least again for a few of us out there, and eventually our temperatures falling into the mid 50s. Then, this isn't our only rodeo that we're going to face this week. We're going to have additional showers and storms for us as we go again tomorrow night into Thursday morning. We're going to have that next round of showers and thunderstorms, and some of these could be strong to severe. And then later in the day, Thursday, we'll have that third round, if you will, of showers and storms. And this is that same batch we were talking about yesterday, right along into the south of I-44. And it'll start to clear out as we head into Friday morning. But as mentioned, it brings with it its own severe risk. So today, we have that low risk in the dark green zone here. Tomorrow, we have an elevated risk tomorrow night in our northern counties and a low risk across a good portion of the area. And then again, for Thursday evening, that risk will shift along into the south of Interstate 44, where we have a low to elevated risk again. Now, the good news is at this point, wind and hail are the primary concerns with these storms. However, as we head into tomorrow and Thursday, there's still a relatively low chance of an isolated tornado. Now, again, we're still a bit of ways away. We're going to keep a close eye on these storms for you. But just a heads up, severe weather season is here, and that's what we're experiencing the next few days. We're still warmer tomorrow, upper 70s, mid 70s on Thursday. And again, we cool down heading into the weekend and the start of next week, and then we'll start to rebound nicely by the middle of next week. Let's check your forecast. We'll be back with Health Watch right after this.
Greg Kelly, Vice President of Operations with Phoenix Home Care here. If you are a loved one, our care continuum meets our clients where they are. Just reach out to our care team to get started today.
Topping Health Watch this morning, a promising new technology researchers are testing may be able to create a child from same-sex couples. The technology uses skin cells from one person to change the genetics of a donated egg. That egg can be fertilized to create an embryo that has the genetics of the skin cell and a donated sperm cell. Investigators say this may one day help same-sex couples and women who are unable to produce healthy eggs produce their own children. Researchers say their work was done on mice, and it will be years before the technique could be available for humans. Their findings appear in the journal Science Advances. Well, if you're sleepy today, you're not alone. Many are still adjusting to the time change, but if you plan to turn to melatonin for sleep tonight, health experts are urging you to keep the sleep aid out of reach of little hands. Mandy Gaither has data from a new report on the dangers of young children ingesting melatonin without a parent's supervision.
It's a popular supplement that can help get those much-needed Z's, but unsupervised ingestion of melatonin is sending more children to the emergency room, according to a new report.
A lot of melatonin is, flavored. It's either a gummy or a liquid. They make it to taste nice.
In the report, the CDC and U.S. Consumer Product Safety Commission estimate that between 2019 and 2022, nearly 11,000 children younger than 5 visited the ER after ingesting melatonin without supervision. More than half of accidental ingestions involved children between 3 and 5 years old, and the majority of visits did not involve additional medications. Dr. Jenna Wheeler with Orlando Health's Arnold Palmer Hospital for Children says melatonin should only be used as directed.
Even though it's sold, at your local grocery store or drugstore and it's easily accessible, there still are significant side effects, especially when used in amounts greater than recommended.
To keep kids safe, Wheeler says to educate children that sleep aids aren't candy. Store melatonin out of reach of little hands and securely fasten the top of the bottle.
Melatonin caps are not the safety caps that we think of with our prescription drugs, so it's even more important to keep those up.
For Health Minute, I'm Mandy Gaither.
The vast majority of unsupervised melatonin ingestions did not result in hospitalization. Researchers didn't specify whether children whose data was used in the study experienced any side effects. That's a look at some of today's top health stories. You're watching the KOAM Morning News.
And we've got ourselves a warm and windy day today ahead of thunderstorm chances this week. We'll have another look at your forecast when the KOAM Morning News returns.
And get 0% financing on a new dependable John Deere mower or compact tractor. Stop in or visit heritagetractor.com today. Exclusions apply. Offer ends March 16, 2024.
Right now at 5:30, Charlie 22 Outdoors helps local military spouses connect and receive support.
We've got a breezy and mild start to the day today. Rain chances returning tonight. We'll take a look at your forecast, get you out the door coming up.
Plus, March is International Crochet Month. We'll meet a Pittsburgh middle schooler with a deep connection to the craft.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Good morning, 4 states, and welcome to the KOAM Morning News. It's 5:29. I'm Elise Noe.
I'm Chris Warner. So it is not a bad start to the day out there.
Not a bad start so far, but I know that we have some thunderstorm chances on the way.
We do have thunderstorm chances on the way. We're going to get into all those thunderstorm chances because this isn't just a one-day deal.
Right.
We've got it over the next few days, and we'll talk about all of that here in just a few minutes. But I know a lot of you waking up, you want to know what you need to do to get out the door today. And the good news is you're not going to need the umbrella or rain jacket for today, but if you're planning anything overnight, that's when you might need that. Let's take a quick look outside, shall we? This is the MoDOT camera 20th and Range Line in Joplin, and it's swaying a bit in the breeze. We've got those gusty winds. They picked up yesterday as promised, and they'll continue to stay gusty through today. In fact, they'll be even stronger today. 54 in Joplin right now, 50 in Pittsburgh. We're looking pretty good. And again, a milder start than what we saw yesterday. Temperatures around the region, we do have about 2 or 3 upper 40-degree readings out there. Monette, Cassville, Bentonville. Everyone else, though, in the low to mid 50s. We'll fall back just a wee bit as kids get on the bus to 48. Partly cloudy skies out there. South breeze 10 to 15, gusting upwards of 25. By this afternoon, we're looking mostly cloudy, much warmer, 73. Sustained south winds at 15 to 25 with those gusts upwards of 40 out there. So again, do not recommend any outdoor burning whatsoever. As we go through today, we're going to have that mix of partly to mostly cloudy skies across the area. Highs topping out right about 75 degrees out there. And of course, we'll have those gusty south winds. As mentioned, thunderstorm chances increasing a bit tonight, and we've got better chances as we go into tomorrow and Thursday as well. We're going to talk about all of these thunderstorm chances in detail with that full forecast here in a few more minutes. Elise?
I'll check in with you soon. Excuse me. I'm so sorry.
Willow City, Missouri organization is helping military spouses get support. Charlie 22 Outdoors yesterday hosted an event for the spouses to connect and talk about the struggles they face. It was called Plug into Hope. In this case, hope stands for holding on to promises eternal, and plug stands for?
Plug stands for prayer, love, unity, and grace, because we definitely believe in giving people grace. The grace of God has, been shown on us through Jesus Christ. And so we definitely believe in giving people that, and the hope, holding on to promises eternal. So through the grace of God.
Charlie 22 Outdoors plans to host these events every Monday from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. at the group's clubhouse. Crochet fanatics recognize the month of International Crochet Month. But for one middle school student in Pittsburgh, crochet is more than a hobby. It's an opportunity. Autumn sells her crochet creations at Root Coffee Shop. She also hosts classes to teach others. Autumn says she loves watching her students' skills grow.
fun. It's a lot of hard work. My classes, they have a lot of fun. We listen to music and I help them one-on-one a lot.
Makes it pretty clear and it's really easy to learn from her. I tried to learn from my aunt and actually couldn't, so she's pretty good to learn from.
The crochet class continues later today at 9 a.m. at Root Coffee Shop in Pittsburgh. Well, it's spring break and some Pittsburgh kids are enjoying the day off at Camp Now and Then. The program offers more than 20 kids ages 5 to 12 the opportunity to play games, create crafts, and make new friends. For families, it's a chance to keep their little ones busy on the days they're not in school.
It's such a fun time for kids. We have a blast every single time we're here. And it's not just our staff, as you can tell, they don't just supervise, we actually interact with the kids. We go play games, we go do crafts with them, we do everything with them.
It's fun to do stuff, learn new things, and I'm gonna be here for a while. I'm just gonna be here for 5 days, and so it's kind of fun here.
Registration for the spring break at Camp Now and Then is already closed, but parents can register their kids to be at the camp on other days the district is out of school. You can find more information on our website at KOAMnewsnow.com. That's a look at our top news stories coming up this half hour on the KOAM Morning News. Congress could vote to force TikTok to separate from its Chinese parent company or ban the app in the U.S. Plus, Israeli Prime Minister says he will move ahead with plans to invade Rafah in South Gaza. We'll have the latest. You're watching the KOAM Morning News.
Of Aaron Sachs and Associates, committed to community service.
Topping World Watch, in a matter of days, Congress could vote to force TikTok to separate from its Chinese parent company or ban the app in the U.S. The move is sparking strong feelings on both sides. Correspondent Connor Hansen has more from New York.
Millions of Americans who use TikTok are watching closely while Congress fast-tracks a bill that could cut them off from the popular app. After a classified briefing, a House committee voted unanimously to pass the bill. With a rare level of bipartisan support, the bill would remove TikTok from app stores in the U.S. if it is not divested from its Chinese parent company, ByteDance.
The CCP is using TikTok as a spyware tool on Americans. They're weaponizing our kids. They have spread misinformation.
President Biden says he supports it.
If they pass it, I'll sign it.
But not everyone is sold on the move. While top Republicans in Congress back the bill, former President Trump says banning TikTok would anger young people and help Facebook grow stronger. Last week, lawmakers were inundated with calls from concerned users after they were prompted by the app to contact their representatives. That angered the top two committee members who wrote Monday to TikTok CEO demanding that, quote, TikTok stop spreading false claims in its campaign to manipulate and mobilize American citizens on behalf of the Chinese Communist Party. Still, some are worried the bill could set a dangerous precedent.
There are real privacy concerns. There are real security concerns. The question is there a way to meet those without banning a whole platform that millions of people like using?
The House could vote on the bill as soon as Wednesday. TikTok has denied that it shares data with the Chinese government or works on its behalf.
The royals attended a Commonwealth Day service at Westminster Abbey on Monday. Queen Camilla, along with Prince William and other senior royals, attended the event. Kate, the Princess of Wales, and King Charles III were both not scheduled to attend in light of recent health issues they have been experiencing. The event taking place in light of controversy surrounding a picture released of Kate and her children that was released by the palace and later retracted by news agencies over concerns it had been altered. Kate claims to have edited the photo herself. Secretary of State Antony Blinken joined leaders from around the world in Kingston, Jamaica on Monday for a meeting of international organization known as KOAM, which stands for the Caribbean Community. 15 countries belong to the group. Their immediate goal is to help Haiti which has been taken over by gangs. Blinken announced the United States would be giving $300 million to finance the deployment of a multinational force to the struggling country. Scores of Haitians have been killed and more than 15,000 are homeless after leaving their residences to get away from the gangs. Schools remain closed. Teachers and parents say it's not safe for children to be walking the streets of the capital. An American man has been sentenced to life in prison in Germany for his attacks on 2 U.S. women at a German castle. The defendant admitted to the charges of murder, attempted murder, and rape with fatal consequences when his trial opened last month. Prosecutors say the attack took place in June of last year near one of Germany's most famous tourist attractions. The suspect allegedly met 2 female tourists on a hiking path and lured them off the trail. When he forced one woman to the ground and tried to undress her, the other woman intervened and the suspect allegedly pushed her down a steep slope. That woman survived. The other woman was allegedly strangled and raped and also pushed down the slope. She died. President Joe Biden says the U.S. military will build a temporary pier in Gaza as part of a multi-nation plan to bring much-needed support to the war-torn region. This comes as Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu says he will move ahead with plans to invade Rafah in South Gaza, even though Biden says he would consider this a, quote, red line. Don Lornick reports.
Monday marks the start of the holy month of Ramadan for most Muslims. But over the weekend, Israeli strikes hit parts of southern and central Gaza, killing scores of people and injuring others, according to the Palestinian news agency.
We've got to make our way to that path that leads to peace. I think the president is leaning in hard, pushing Netanyahu to do this, and it couldn't happen sooner.
President Joe Biden says while Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has the right to defend his country from Hamas,
he must pay more attention to the innocent lives being lost as a consequence of the actions taken. He's hurting, in my view, he's hurting Israel more than helping Israel.
Netanyahu defends his policy in Gaza and says he's unclear about Biden's comment on the matter.
If he meant by that I'm pursuing private policies against the majority, the wish of the majority of Israelis, and that this is hurting the interests of Israel, then he's wrong on both counts.
In a White House statement released Sunday night, President Biden said, quote, "The suffering of the Palestinian people will be front of mind for many. It is front of mind for me."
So I'm challenging the Biden administration today to clear this up. You cannot allow Hamas to stay in power. You can't allow them to have 6 brigades to do October 7th again.
I'm John Lawrence reporting.
A member of Hamas says there are, quote, no dates yet for negotiators to go back to Cairo and discuss a potential ceasefire in Gaza. Now to look at some of your biggest headlines from around the world. We'll be right back.
At Aaron Sachs & Associates, and you pay us nothing if we don't get money for you, Aaron Sachs & Associates. It really does cost you nothing to see if we can help.
Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News, now 5:45 on this Tuesday morning, and we've got a lot to talk about with our weather over the next few days. First up, the wind. As we head through today, we're going to have those south wind gusts upwards of 40, potentially 45 miles an hour for some of us, and it is going to stay gusty through today, tomorrow, and even into our Thursday. So as you see, by Wednesday morning, some of us get a little pause in those gusty winds, and they are quick to return, still out of the south. So over the next few days, we do not recommend any outdoor burning whatsoever with these gusty winds. By Wednesday evening, they're back up into that 30-40 mile an hour range, even as we head into Thursday morning as well. And they'll stay gusty as we head into Thursday afternoon for most of us. So again, just you've got to be careful out there. And the wind's still, again, remaining out of the south over the next few days. Then we've got strong to potentially severe thunderstorms we're talking about. This is for today. Our tornado risk very low. As you can see at this point, no areas highlighted. However, we have a low-end hail and wind risk across the area. So hail, damaging winds, the primary concern with storms tonight. Now, they're expected to be relatively isolated to widely scattered, and they're going to be confined really right along into the east of the 69 corridor, and that won't happen until later tonight. Between now and then, it is warm and it is breezy. We'll go from partly to mostly cloudy skies, a couple of showers possible this evening. And then we'll have better chances of storms, say around 9, 10 o'clock tonight, developing right in this zone and lifting eventually off to the north and east. But as you saw in the future track, they didn't show up very long. They didn't show up very well. They're going to be isolated to widely scattered. Most of us won't see any rain whatsoever tonight. And then we go into our Wednesday, another partly to mostly cloudy day, breezy, even warmer. Highs going into the upper 70s out there. And then by tomorrow night, here it comes again, another round of storms by about 6, 7 o'clock out west, and this will move off to the east, and we'll see a few more thunderstorms for this activity as we go into Wednesday night and very early Thursday morning, and again, some of those storms could be strong to severe as well. 54 in Joplin right now, south breeze at 18, gusting upwards of 26. Around the region, we've had a couple of upper 40s out there, so Monette, Cassville, and Bentonville, so 3 upper 40s, the rest of us into the low to mid 50s. As we go through the morning, we will eventually warm even better than we did yesterday by about 6-7 degrees, 61 by 11, breezy, and again, we'll have that mix of partly to mostly cloudy skies. So again, your daytime hours, aside from the wind, looking pretty good. Mid 70s out there, not a bad day across the area. Then we head into this evening, and again, mainly along and east of the 69 corridor tonight, where we could see some scattered thunderstorms overnight, and as mentioned, a couple of those could be strong to low-grade severe, with hail and wind being the primary concern. Will eventually fall back even milder tonight, low to mid 50s out there. Then this isn't just a one-day event. This is a multi-day event. We go into tomorrow evening, as mentioned, more showers and thunderstorms across the area, and these will persist into Thursday morning for us and into the overnight hours Wednesday, and therefore we do have another opportunity for some strong to severe thunderstorms across the area. We get a bit of a break, and then by Thursday evening we get a third round of showers and thunderstorms. Now this is going to be associated with the frontal boundary, and at this point these thunderstorms in the position of the front should trigger right along into the south of I-44, and then they'll roll out of here by Friday morning. And once that front pushes through, we're going to be a little cooler. So here's today's low risk across this portion of the area, again mainly along into the east of the 69 corridor. Then we head into tomorrow. We do have a low to elevated risk in some of our northern counties out there for these thunderstorms, and we have got that low risk for most of the area. And then Thursday, it's another low to elevated risk. So with that frontal boundary, a lot of this is going to depend on the time that these thunderstorms begin. If they start a little earlier, we could see this risk backed up a little further to the northwest. If they start a little later, we could see it pushed further to the southeast. But at this point, we're expecting initiation right in this low zone, and then these storms, because of the front and all the energy they're going to have, will intensify pretty quickly as they roll off to the southeast. So another day of thunderstorms that we're going to have to watch. So again, today, tomorrow, and Thursday, a lot to keep an eye on, and a reminder that this risk is more for tomorrow night, and same with our risk for today. It is for the overnight hours. Once we head in the next couple of days, until that front gets here, we're still pretty mild. Mid 70s on Thursday, upper 70s tomorrow. Then we cool down. That front rolls through Thursday, and we start to cool back a little bit. 60 on Friday, into the 50s, into the weekend, and as cold as 47 on Monday. But again, because we are getting into springtime, it doesn't last long. Temperatures warm back up into the 70s by the middle of next week. Let's check your forecast. We're back with more right after this.
A tiny basketball coach in the making is making big strides. 4-year-old little Coach Bess has gone viral after stealing the spotlight at a basketball game. Anna Rupinta has this story out of North Carolina.
No foul, no foul!
Meet Tarborough's tiniest but most spirited basketball coach. At 4,
5-on-5!
Christopher Bess, nicknamed Lil Coach Bess, is the Tarboro High School varsity men's basketball team's youngest motivator with a big personality. Lil Coach Bess's dad, Reggie, is the actual head coach.
I actually think he's the full-time coach. He told me last week he's now the new athletic director as well, so I guess I work for him. The kids love the community, have embraced him as well. He's been doing this a couple years. It's basketball season, even though I'm the head coach. He does it during football season, baseball season, you name it.
You come up, You said a screen for Jaden.
His brother Reg is a freshman on the team, and Lil Coach Bess makes sure to give him extra instruction.
He loves coaching his brother. He tell his brother when he get home, Reg, you should have done this. Reg, you should have done that. You know when Christopher's real serious with him, he would call him, now Reginald Eugene Best II. And that's when he actually means business for sure there.
We gotta win this playoffs game.
And while Lil Coach Bess is never at a loss for words on the hardwood, he is a little shy when one-on-one.
That's a hard question. That's a hard question. That's a hard question right there. I tell them that it's fun.
Fun is exactly what he's having, hanging out with his dad and brother during the games.
It's amazing.
Early in the season, I had COVID. He told the guys, he said, I'm going to coach my butt off. You just play your butt off. And just little things like that. And it was like the whole locker room erupted.
And they say you got to tell them pick it up. They energy low. Say pick it up.
I did.
We're loving it as well. As much negativity that's going on in the world right now, to have this little positive insight that he brings to not just to us as a family, but to people around us in our community, it's all genuine and authentic. To me, that's the most prized thing about it.
Making every game a win for Lil Coach Bess, no matter the scoreboard.
Hey, 1, 2, 3, 1. Yeah.
Well, it's safe to say little Coach Bess has a bright future ahead of him. Stick around. We'll be right back.
From the moment you call.
Beyond Homeless, beginning tonight on KOAM News at 6.
Well, the happiest place on earth may be getting bigger. Disneyland in Anaheim, California is looking to buy neighboring streets from the city in an effort to expand the park. Under the proposed Disneyland Forward project, the company wants to spend nearly $2 billion to develop the property. Disney says it will include new theme parks and hotel areas. The Anaheim City Council is expected to vote on the project next month. And it just keeps rising. The Mega Millions jackpot has risen to an estimated $735 million, making it the 6th largest in Mega Millions history. The jackpot has been growing since it was last won in early December. If there's a winner in Tuesday's lottery, they could take the jackpot in 30 annual installments, or they can take one-time lump sum of a $356.7 million before taxes.
Could do a lot with $356.7 million. Even after taxes, you could still do a lot with that. That's what I think. You know, when you see those big jackpots, I'm like, what do you do with that? For somebody like me, the wife and I, we figured we'd buy a couple of cars and get a house that, you know, we can fit the family in. What do you do with the rest of it? Scholarships for the kids, that's still not going to take all of it. You just sit on it. I mean, okay, whatever. You live within your means and you're so used to it, you just don't know what to do with that jackpot. And something you could do with that jackpot is go out and enjoy this nice weather. You don't even need a jackpot to do that. It's going to be partly to mostly cloudy. It's going to be breezy. 61 by 11 o'clock this morning. As we head into the afternoon, we've got those highs around the mid-70s, the south winds gusting upwards of 40. So no outdoor burning out there. And if you're traveling on any east-west roadways, do be cautious. For some of us, especially along and east of the 69 corridor, late tonight after 10 o'clock, could see some scattered thunderstorms, some strong to low-grade severe storms with hail and winds are the primary concern. Thunderstorm chances continue through at least Friday morning. Cold front cools us down into the weekend and Monday, and then we'll warm up by the middle of next week. We'll be back with more right after this.
Register for the St. Patrick's Day free community